Welcome back to another episode of Cashing Out. I'm your host, Billy Alvaro, my co-host, cousin, and partner, Wayne Hartart. We are Easy Sell Property Solutions. You can find us right here every Saturday from 12 to 12:30 on 103.9. You can go online and listen to us streaming at linewsradio.com. Cuz I always open by asking you, how you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. How you doing? Loud?
Doing good.
Too loud?
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Now I can hear
We're
myself
not loud
speak.
enough?
Good. So,
Mic on.
I got a little color, right? I look.
You
like
look like
Indian red.
you look like the red on my mic over here.
Yeah, it's-
Lobster.
I'll turn-
Billy Lobsters.
I got fried. I'm completely
Your
fried.
face is red.
My face is bright red. Yeah, I look like I'm like blushing right now, right? So listen, good week. We had a solid week this past week. Things are rocking and rolling. We're closing. We closed out June with almost a record month. We had a killer month in June with the amount of properties that we brought in. And we're looking to do the same for July. So this segment of the Cashing Out program, well, let me back up. If you want to find out more about us, you can find us online at easysell411.com or by phone 631-400-EASY. Let's just make a switch now. So I want to speak about, not about us, I want to give value to the people who are out there who may want to sell their property. Maybe they want to sell it cash, they want to sell it to a realtor, they just want to sell and they just want to get out of their house, right? So we came up with 10 questions that people should ask when looking to sell their property, specifically to a cash buyer, right? Because people have choices out there. We're not the only game in town.
No, absolutely
So
not.
whether they come to us or they go to somebody else, the reason for this segment is to really educate them on the questions they should be asking so they can make an informed, intelligent decision on who actually is going to be best with them to buy their property. It might not be us. But in most cases, it may, but in some cases, it may not. And I think with these questions, it's gonna open their minds. They'll have a checklist of 10 that they can go to, that they can reference. And so when they're looking to sell their property, they can go back to this and they can start comparing apples to apples. Because if you ask some people certain questions and other people different questions, you're not really able to get an apple-to-apple comparison, correct?
No, definitely not.
Good.
Good.
So, good. So here's what we're going to do. So the first thing, very simple, right? So you want to go to the first question? You want me to ask it?
Whatever. I mean,
All right. So the first question is when you have somebody coming into your house, you want to know how many years have they been in business, one, and an additional question to that is how many transactions a year are they actually doing? Now, both of these questions are important for many reasons, right? Do you want to go over to some of the reasons?
well, listen, folks, it's like you're doing your due diligence on anything. If you look at what you do, you buy a car, you buy anything, you always do some due diligence. It's amazing, right? So you want to have some background on the company that you're going to do business with. I mean, this is a huge, this is one of your biggest possessions that you're going to be selling.
For most people,
it is the largest
investment that they
so
have.
you want to know the company that you're selling it to. How reputable are they? How long they've been in business?
Right.
Okay?
And how many transactions
are
a
they
year are they doing?
doing in a year? Listen, I get it. There's a lot of people out there that may be in business for quite a few years, and they maybe do one transaction a year.
But this is a challenge right now. And this is a good point that you just brought that up. So right now, there's a craze. Everybody and their mother is trying to get into the flipping business.
Exactly. That's where
And the unfortunate thing is, because they don't know what they're doing, they're making you offers that are unrealistic. And if you don't ask them how many years have they been in business, how many units are they doing a year, if they're only doing 1 or 2, now granted, they could lie to you and tell you they did 50, so you're going to follow up with, do you have a portfolio? You could show me the properties that you've actually renovated and flipped, because we can.
Yes.
We can show you over 125 houses a year that we get into, we renovate, and we turn over. So if you're asking these questions, just know they can snowball you. You want to actually then follow up the question with the answer with another question. Do you have a portfolio?
Do you have a portfolio?
And the reason this is important, everybody's getting into this business and they just don't know what the heck they're doing. And so if you try to sell your property to somebody who's just been doing this for 6 months or a year and they have no clue, I'm telling you, it's going to get screwed up there. And they're going to end up offering you a number that's unrealistic, and they're going to end up backing out at the last minute. Yeah. And we have so many of those clients that come to us that said, listen, I didn't realize, it sounded too good to be true. I should have realized it was.
Yeah,
right?
It's unfortunate. I hate when that happens.
It's a pain in the backside, right?
No, it is.
So one of the other questions that you should definitely be asking the people who are coming in to make you an offer, and now I'm going to say this: are they listed on the Better Business Bureau? Should they even be listed on the Better Business Bureau? So I have my own opinions on this.
Well, there's a back and forth on that one, technically.
Right.
So you don't have to necessarily be listed on the Better Business Bureau.
Well, let's just put it out there. The Better Business Bureau, when they
go ahead, say it. I know where you're going.
People who want to be on there actually have to pay an exorbitant fee to be on and be listed with a Better Business Bureau. Here's the key thing that I want you to take away. If they're not listed with the Better Business Bureau, you still want to see if there's complaints. If they're not listed, it doesn't mean that they're a bad company. It just means
it does
that
not.
They just didn't want to go into their pocket and
Docket.
take out the money because they think it's an extortion fee to pay to the Better Business Bureau.
Correct.
However, if there's complaints, if they're listed or not, that should be a red flag.
Yes, red flag. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But I want to stress on that piece, Bill. If they're not on, then it doesn't mean that they're a bad company. We're not saying that.
No,
100%.
absolutely. I know guys out there that do very reputable businesses and they
they're not
just
on the
choose not to pay the
on
Better
it.
Business
Yep.
Bureau to be on there. That's their
That's
business.
okay.
However, if you look up those companies and they have multiple complaints, even
yeah.
if they're not listed in the Better Business, because
This-
anybody can complain to the Better Business
Oh,
Bureau.
it's going to come up.
It's going to come
It's
up.
going to come up. Yep.
So key point, one of those questions you definitely want to ask. You want to take this into like some sort of a checklist when you're asking and you're interviewing people that you're selling to for cash, so you can do an apples to apples comparison. You want to take the next question?
Sure. Well, you know what, Bill, I got to jump into something here. I don't think we had on there. Is I like to look to see if people have testimonials.
Wow.
Clients on and whether it be their website or something they can give you. Somebody
We have
they,
them right inside this packet right here.
Something,
Tons of testimonials.
Something that they've worked with, other clients that they work with. Because how many times do we always look for that? If I'm doing researching a doctor, you're reaching something, I want to know somebody that they've worked with before.
Absolutely.
So
I think that's a key point. It wasn't on the list. We missed it. I'm surprised we missed it. But having past clients, listen, we can tell you how great we are. We can tell you what we're going to do for you. And of course, we're going to say that because we're in business. You could back it up by saying to the person, well, do you have any testimonials that will prove that what you say you're going to do, you're actually going to do?
Absolutely.
And we can. And we could do it numerous times.
numerous times for years, for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's nice when we get those people on camera and they give us a good testimony. I love it.
That's the best. And you know what? What's even better is keeping in touch with them all these years.
I mean,
Because they come back and now we're starting to see it's a referral piece 10 years later. Oh, you remember we did this one deal with you in Hauppauge? All of a sudden I have my aunt or uncle that's selling another one out here. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it comes full circle again. It's
when you do good business and
I
you
love that we
do
do.
what you say you're going to do, you get referrals. And people are going to be open to giving you testimonials. So that's a good additive there.
Yep.
I'll take the next one. So the next one is, and again, you have to see how much weight this is going to hold. Are you dealing with an individual who is working out of his home, or are you dealing and by himself as a solo practitioner, or are you dealing with somebody who actually has an office and a business and a team that can facilitate the purchasing and the selling of your property? So, it's really a choice for you. Do you feel comfortable working with somebody who's just working out of his home office? Doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
No, it doesn't mean.
We started off that way, but we very quickly, got this company, this business into a real business, and now we have an office, we have staff, and we have people that support us. So you just have to think on your end. I would say, if he's new in the business and he doesn't have a support team and he's kind of working on his own, these are little red flags that you as the home seller have to start thinking. There's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 things on this list that this guy doesn't have that might cause him not to actually close on the property.
Yeah.
Fair to say?
No, it's fair to say. I would look at that and say, listen, he could be himself and in one small office, but he could be leveraging certain relationships outside of the business that is going to make sure he gets the transaction done. If you were to vet him on that, I'd be okay with it.
Right.
If he didn't, then I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about what your comfort level
But
is.
isn't it also nice then knowing who his support staff is, how many partners he has, what kind of what people are inside of his office? I like that. I mean, I love the people that know we're a family business.
Right. It's important.
We're
a family-owned and run business.
I love that. So
goes a long way
so you want to
because-
know these guys. Maybe he's got partners and who he's dealing with. It's
Right.
good. It's great to know that stuff.
It's important to do the due diligence. You want to take the next one?
Sure.
Number 4 on the list.
Ooh, number 4. You know what, Bill? This is actually a very good one. Do they have the money to close?
So how are we going to find out? So the question you want to ask is, do you have the money to close? They're going to say, of course. Your follow-up question to that is, can you prove it to me in the form of a proof of funds? Not a letter, but an actual bank statement.
Yeah.
Anybody can type up a letter. Anybody can say, I'm going to give Billy and Wayne this amount of money. But if anybody can write that up, you can get them off the internet.
Yep.
They're a dime a dozen.
You can
They're
type them up
free.
yourself.
You can type them up yourself. If you really want to see the difference of somebody who is a true cash buyer, ask them for their bank statement. Watch 99 out of 100 people who are making you offers, watch their mouth drop to the floor. They don't have the money.
Deer in headlights.
They don't have the money.
No, they won't have it.
They don't have the money.
They won't have it.
And that's a key thing for the sellers who are out there. They want to know, the reason they're selling for cash most of the time is they want a guaranteed buyer, no BS, and they want to close on their timeline. And the key thing is they don't want to have to wait for somebody to get a mortgage. That's the key thing.
That's the key thing.
So that was a huge one. We're going to listen. If you're out there and you're finding value with this, if you want to get a copy of this right here, the Home Sellers Information Kit. If you are a home seller, give us a call at the office, 631-400-EASY. We'll give you a copy of this. Of course, we're going to want to make you an offer in your property, so we're going to have to set up an appointment, come out to your property. As we come out, we'll interview you. We'll check out the property, check everything out. We'll give you a free copy of this. There is a ton of information in this home seller's guide, a ton. I guess I'm getting cute here.
We'll be right back.
We're going to be
we
back.
We got a break here.
So listen, if you you can find us online at EasySell411.com. You can find us at YouTube. What's the YouTube channel? It's EasySell411. Also on Instagram and Facebook, EasySell411, and by phone 631-400-EASY. And like I said, online online is EasySell411.com. Holy shit, that's a lot of talking right now.
A lot of talking there. We'll be right
I
back.
got marbles in my mouth.